I read that it took you 10 years to write and research this story.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what is it about this story that intrigued you so much?
I saw a documentary about it, and I thought it was fascinating, and I started to research it. And as I researched it, it became like this Pandora's box that kind of opened up, and there was an amazing amount of information that was surrounding the Operation Anthropoid, and you know, and it was just a pleasure actually, just sort of really delve into it. I felt like a detective. I was going back over history and finding out all these bits and piecing them together as you're trying to figure out what kind of a movie it would be.
Well, that actually, I wasn't even going to ask this question, but I will now. Were there things that you ran across that you were like, seeing the movie, first of all, because I'd never heard of it.
Right.
But now seeing it, the intensity, but were there parts when you were researching, I can't believe this really happened?
Yeah, literally. When I saw the documentary and I was like, what? You know, and then this, I mean, it felt like it was a film already. It's like it felt like you couldn't make it up. You know, you go, really? Okay, that really happened? And you go, yeah, that really happened. And you go, wow, okay.
Where did you film this?
All in Prague.
Because this
100% in the real locations as best as we could. If they don't exist anymore, we recreated them, and we recreated them from original photographs of the real place. So I was a real stickler on the accuracy and the authenticity of the film, and making sure that even the people in the Czech Republic, you know, they know that church. So that church had to really be that church. So we rebuilt it brick for brick on the studio lot. But yeah, it was important to be authentic.
Let's talk about the fight scenes.
Right.
Not giving anything away, but how do you film something that incredible? The cast just did a tremendous job, but I want to know what it was like behind the scenes.
It's a lot of planning and a lot of pre-production planning. So we had the script was written as per the reports that we have. So those reports are mainly the Gestapo report and the autopsy report. In the autopsy report, it actually tells you roughly where the men were found in the church and what they died of. And then the Gestapo report told them how many hours and where they finally got them. So you get that, you piece it together, and then we spent a long time. My production designer built a 1/6 size church that I could actually walk into, and the ceiling was sort of hitting my head, and I had 1/6 action figures, and then I positioned them within the church, and I photographed them, and these became our storyboards. But they were a very accurate representation of what you would see when you walked onto the real church, because it was an exact replica but small. So that saved a lot of time. So we had these photographs that we literally said, okay, and we were able to give those to the special effects guys, and we said, okay, we want squibs to go in the wall here, 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 and here. And they had a frame, and because it was a photographic frame and not a drawing, and it was accurate to the point that it was a 1/6 model, we were able to plan it really down to the last detail.
Do you still have the figures? That's what I
do.
Was like, do you really?
Yeah. Well, I actually found a Cillian Murphy doll, which was great. But at the time, there was no Jamie Dornan dolls. I'm sure now there's plenty of Jamie Dornan dolls.
I gave one to my mother, actually, for her birthday.
Yeah, Jamie Dornan doll.
Turn around. All right, so final question for you. Why is it important to tell this story?
Because, you know, I think it's an important part of history that a lot of people don't know. It's a very heroic story, and it's a story about the fight for freedom. And I think, you know, it's about men and women who were prepared to pay the ultimate sacrifice for that freedom.